Y'all ready to see Usher take the stand in Diddy's trial? Because word on the street is he's one of the many subpoenaed to testify about what really went down at Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp.
I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Y'all remember when Usher went on Club Shay Shay and spoke so highly of Diddy? He talked about how much Puff taught him about the music business and how grateful he was. But here's the thing, people who were actually around during that era know the truth runs deeper than that. Word is, Diddy and Usher had a situation back in the day, and that situation allegedly landed Usher in the hospital. But hold on, because it gets even spicier. Allegedly, there's a recording, courtesy of none other than Kim Porter, that might blow this entire case wide open, and it could be played in court. The big questions are, what did Kim know? What did she see? And if she really had these recordings, why keep them? Was it for protection, receipts, or insurance in case everything went left? Let's be honest. Kim was around during some of Diddy's most pivotal years. If anyone knew the truth about what went down between Diddy and Usher, it was her. This trial is already giving Netflix documentary energy, and we're only in episode 1. Let's break it down. Insiders close to the trial say Kim allegedly discovered security footage while reviewing tapes from their days at Uptown Records. She suspected Diddy was cheating and decided to check the tapes. But what she reportedly found went way beyond infidelity. Allegedly, she came across footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell in a compromising situation. She was stunned. She confronted Andre, who denied it. But then, according to sources, she found even more footage that truly shook her. Footage of Diddy and Usher getting real close, allegedly intimate. And this wasn't just rumor. There were supposedly excerpts from Kim's unpublished book that hinted at this revelation. Even Usher's mother allegedly got involved. After discovering what was going on, she confronted Diddy herself. Now, why she didn't press further or take public action, no one knows. But the silence was deafening. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Before Kim Porter passed, her home was burglarized. And guess what? The only thing taken was her laptop. No jewelry, no cash, no safe cracking, just a clean, silent extraction of data. Does that sound like a random robbery to you? Or more like a targeted operation? Rumors are swirling that this very stolen footage is now making its way into the courtroom. Let's not forget, Usher was signed to LaFace Records as a young teen, and who was brought in to mentor him? Diddy. Usher even moved to New York to live with him. At the time, his mother admitted she didn't know much about Diddy, but she trusted him. When Usher's voice changed during puberty and labels started pulling back, Diddy stepped up and said he'd take care of him. But according to Usher himself, the things he witnessed while staying with Diddy were shocking. And as a father now, Usher has said that he would never let his own child attend something like Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp. So, what really happened? What was on those tapes? And if Kim Porter had the truth all along, why was her silence bought or stolen? Because whatever this trial uncovers, it's looking like it won't just be about Cassie. It might be the tip of a much darker iceberg.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Usher was also questioned about his time at the Puffy Flavor Camp during an interview for the cover of Essence magazine. And he said that a lot actually took place at the Flavor Camp. First of all, according to the article, He was very relaxed when asked about other things, like how he would continue to pursue movie projects, and somewhere down the road, a new album and several business ventures. He said something that you should know about me is that I'm a businessman before I'm anything else. Look at the capabilities of Martha Stewart or Russell Simmons or Shan Puffy Combs or even 50 Cent with Goon It. Look at what they did with their licensing. This is my opportunity to do the same clothing. And shoes are kind of the standard nowadays, so I'm trying to figure out how I can come at it from a different angle. Allegedly, when the interviewer started asking about his time with Diddy, Usher became very uncomfortable, and he simply said, I want to save some for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex. Trust me, we get it, Usher. We totally get it. Well, he's also come up a few times in lawsuits, so it wouldn't be surprising if we saw him on the stand, for instance. Usher was mentioned in the lawsuit against Diddy by Lil Rod, where Rod talked about Diddy, bragging about hooking up with an artist who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. In addition, Dawn Richards' bombshell lawsuit against Diddy also mentioned Usher, as she claimed Usher Naho and Jimmy Iovine witnessed Diddy allegedly pounce on Cassie in her lawsuit. It says, in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy in Cope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with producer and then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine, on one such occasion. Combs hosted a dinner at a West Hollywood, California restaurant, which Miss Richard and Miss Harper were required to attend. Among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Mr. Iovine at the dinner. Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura had an argument in front of the dinner guests. Mr. Combs hissed at Miss Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain. Crying Miss Clark escorted Miss Ventura out of the restaurant, and Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with the dinner guests. So other than the lawsuit, and what Usher himself said, we even had someone like Gene Deal saying that he couldn't understand why Usher was singing Diddy's praises. Yet a lot of people from back in the day know exactly what happened to him.
Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know
And have you ever noticed how Usher gets super uncomfortable when around Diddy, especially when he said some very suggestive things? For instance, just look at his reaction when Diddy was telling Kevin Hart about how they used to wake up together.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like just out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up earlier than me. Now he's one of the richest stars.
There was also this time Diddy was complimenting Usher as being fly and mentioned Usher eating cereal in his kitchen.
So mesmerized, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just so blown away by the stamina, the connection, being able to be connected that long with so much shit. You got like so much, motherfuckers ain't doing all this shit out here. All those dance numbers and all that. Take your time with it. Breathe it in. Yeah, they yours when you go see this for you. This ain't for nobody else but you. You take that time, boy. I see you, fly ass motherfucker doing hey, how the fuck you in the kitchen eating all my cereal? Man, you doing babies in a pink suit. God is the greatest. Won't he do it? Won't he will? Won't he will? Won't he will?
So if Usher was indeed subpoenaed, that wouldn't be surprising. I'm just wondering if the defense will bring up his own dirty laundry, like how he allegedly gave several people STDs. Remember, there was a time when a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe, and John Doe sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher, and they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged herpes diagnosis and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice, and after contracting the STD from him, her twins were stillborn, which is a direct consequence of giving birth while infected. And like I said, there was also a John Doe who said he hooked up with Usher at a Koreatown spa in Los Angeles and unknowingly got infected. In addition, there was also a guy who spilled some time back on how Usher had been rolling, saying that Usher was a little too comfortable at a gay club, What happened was that after Usher performed one time, everyone was in Usher's dressing room drinking champagne when someone came up with the idea that they should go to a club. That's when the source claimed. The group went to a popular gay nightclub saying, "We weren't looking for a gay club. It just happened. I mean, most of us were gay, so we just went to a place we knew allegedly." Usher struck up a conversation with an older gentleman at the club, and he even explained the situation, saying Usher was talking all up in this guy's face. "I thought the two of them are going to start kissing at first. I couldn't believe my eyes, but then I thought, this is Chelsea, so anything goes." Then when asked if Usher had a good time, the source said, "I know he did." Honey, considering how brutal cross-examination can get, Usher better be prepared if he actually takes a stand. Meanwhile, what I can tell you is that there's growing speculation that Kim Porter may have shared crucial evidence, including recordings, and possibly even a manuscript, with someone she trusted before her untimely death. While her home was mysteriously broken into and only her laptop was stolen, many believe Kim was too smart to keep everything in just one place. Allegedly, she also began distributing parts of her story, including audio videos and her unpublished books, to close friends and family. So now the question is, what if someone's been quietly holding on to that material all this time? And what if it's already been released, possibly to the prosecution child? Just keep it all here for all emerging trial details. And let me know what you think of Usher's recording possibly being played in court in the comments section below.